Looking at Nick Guadamara. Had that all week.
Time for the starting lineups, and we'll start with Duquesne, O'Connor, Spears, Easley, Williams, and Johnson for New Hampshire. Mattos, Johnson, Duqesne, Martinez, and Guadarrama for the New Hampshire Wildcats. And with Jackie Johnson in the starting lineup, Ellis, that's the big story today for Duquesne. Telby O'Connor in the starting lineup as well, and starts things well on defense, getting the steal. Johnson the three, and the two guys back in the starting lineup connect right away for Duquesne.
It's a big reason why you've got Jackie Johnson in the game. Comes in with a 46% average when it comes to shooting the three.
Guadarrama, the offense goes through him for UNH. Great ball handler, great passer. Great in the screen game as well, and he'll shoot from outside too. Front rim no good on his first attempt. Head coach of New Hampshire, Bill Harrion, telling us they kind of play backwards or inside out with their big guys being their better shooters outside. You'll see Guadarrama take quite a few shots from the outside and really distribute the ball from the perimeter as well.
That's exactly right. It is a little bit awkward. Nick Johnson almost with a good hand there.
Spears rises for a jump shot, bounces way high off the back rim, tipped around for a while, and eventually brought down for a rebound by the 6'11" New Hampshire product, Tayler Mattos.
It got skewered in that department just the other night. New Hampshire did, and that's a huge point of emphasis in this game. Win the boards.
Yeah, after they were great on the glass against Central Connecticut State in the previous game, as Guadarrama will get his first basket of the afternoon, rolling it softly off the back rim.
Second leading scorer, nearly 11 a game. Does a lot, though, away from the ball or with the ball, but not always shooting. Great passer, in other words.
And they really missed him as Johnson drives hard to the 10. Ooh, halfway down and came out, tipped around for a while to stay with the Dukes. They really missed Guadarrama in that game against Bryant, Ellis. The Wildcats had won 3 games in a row before they got to Bryant and then lost to the Bulldogs by a final score of 76-59. Guadarrama didn't play because he had the flu, and he was definitely missed.
Yeah, for sure. He's described as very important by Coach Arian, and he certainly was missed, as you point out. Now the board
from O'Connor was no good. Duqesne leads the Wildcats into the front court. And speaking of injuries, he had a ruptured patella tendon. Nick Johnson, the other guard, coming off an ACL. So that slowed their development.
Yeah, they're effectively, third year in the program, and so as a result, they have experience in the system at the very least, although, like you said, they were sidelined early on with knees.
Duqesne was excellent against Central Connecticut. He had 20 points in that game on 7 of 11 shooting. And tied up goes over to the Duquesne Dukes. Good effort underneath from Trey Williams. Boy, has he been consistent for Duquesne this year.
Yeah, for sure. And he's somebody that UNH has circled. They're concerned about him. They have their keys. Obviously, they're concerned about Duquesne running downhill with their athletic guards to the rim. Paint points, as the coach pointed out. On the other hand, Trey could do a lot of things, and they know it.
17 and 10 against DePaul, his second double-double of this season. Williams has it now. He loves this move. Backs into the paint, goes up soft with the right hand. A little bit too much, though. It's rebounded again by UNH.
3 UNH players around that ball for the rebound.
Duqesne using the high screen. Guadarrama stays put, now dives down, runs in the back of Spears. He wanted the mismatch initially. Still has the size advantage on Spears down low. They're trying to get to him. Now he gets a double team and kicks it back out. Long three-point try, no good. Rebound all the way out to Johnson. Jackie Johnson, of course, exploded for 27 in a game that Ellis and I did against Weber. Oh, that was an awkward shot from Easley. And UNH just lets it go out of bounds. They'll take over on the possession.
Johnson with 11 off the bench. It really boils down with Johnson, as we look at him there, to points, defense, and turnovers. You know, they know he's going to score. The question is whether or not he offsets some things he's still working on, particularly defending the ball. If he doesn't defend and turns it over, then the scoring won't be good enough. Just about everything else would be in terms of the mix and matches there.
I haven't seen much so far from Martinez. Hasn't been getting the ball into his hands. The Duke's doing a nice job of denying that. And Doesn't get a touch here, but that one falls for Josh Hopkins, the grad student. Started against Bryant when Guadarrama was out of the lineup.
He gets time. Fifth-year senior, comes in averaging about 6 a game in 21 minutes.
Now Ayers getting his first touch of the afternoon. Johnson decides to go for another three, and he nails it. Jackie Johnson stays hot to start the afternoon for the Dukes.
I think the coach said he has unlimited range, as we talk about every time he hits one, and that's just another example.
Now we see Jaden Martinez with the ball in his hands. 862 points at UNH. Back to Guadarrama with the pump fake. Now goes in on Trey Williams. Spins around with the baby hook, and another rebound for Rotroff, his second. Keith Dambrot really wanted to see the rebounding numbers go up. He wants to see the defensive proficiency go up for this Duquesne team. They've struggled defensively, which is an oddity for a Keith Dambrot coach team.
Yeah, but like he's as coach says, players.
Mikey Bekelja into this lineup here for Duquesne for the first time.
And he's going to be like a rabid dog.
Defensive stopper. Bobbled ball, but now UNH getting into its offense.
They're deliberate, all right.
Chris Lester checking into the game for the first time for UNH. Ooh, Bekelja falls down, now gets back up. Hopkins thought about pulling a three. Watched by Williams. On the perimeter, Foster into the game for the first time, too. He tries a three, and Foster is able to bury one from outside.
So when we say very deliberate, everybody, 351 is the ranking out of 358 in pace of play, 352 out of 358 for the average length of possession, and that went down to the last 3 seconds. But they're 19th in the country in effective possession ratio. So they make that time and deliberateness pay off.
Bekelja. Oh, Mikey Bekelja. Three-pointers all around. UNH has made 3 of its last 4, and the Dukes have a couple now, too. Bekelja. Boy, that's 3 points you don't usually expect to get, and those little bench contributions, like the 3 from him, the 4 from Rotroff, those add up, E.
No question about it, and while that wasn't as deliberate a possession, it was effective, and Duquesne's 36th in the country in that department.
Foul away from the ball. I think Easley is going to come out after taking that foul, and Rotroff will come right back in again.
There we go. Well, again, they're very mindful. Keith is very, very mindful of what's happening in the second half, as you point out, with Easley on defense. And that's a good switch.
Excellent blow-by there from Nick Johnson. Fought through the traffic, got by Rotroff, used the glass, and it's a 5-point game again.
6'4", 200 out of the Bronx.
Rotroff sitting a screen on a couple of UNH defenders. He's up to 4 minutes already. They usually don't like to get him over 8 because of that foot injury. Primo Spears will get 3 himself.
Well, Keith Dambrot says that Bill Harrion is going to force Duquesne to win the game at the perimeter. If that keeps up, they'll be in good shape.
Listen to this run of points from Primo Spears. 15, then 6. 14, 21, then 5. 23, then 2. The scoring has been inconsistent from Primo. Good offense again. Another successful possession. They're picking up the pace. Are the Wildcats. Marco Foster from Chicago.
That's exactly right. Primo is somebody that coaches look. They got a lot on his plate, but they would like to see those numbers you just mentioned even out a little bit, and also do that.
Winds his way through the UNH defense, but no good. Trey Williams falls down, and a high use of the glass there from Foster. Actually, make that Lester. Excuse me. UNH maintains possession, though. Down to 14 on the shot clock. And it's going to be a foul on Spears as Foster lowered the head to try to get by him, and will step aside for another timeout. 7:04 remaining in the first. Duquesne and UNH. The Dukes looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. More in the message how to do it. Keith Dambrot tells us next. 0.3, and that's where Keith Dambrot says that's the formula. You start doing better in those areas, and this team will come along and start to win more games.
It's unbelievable. I totally agree with you, although you clearly went high-tech on it. All I have is little arrows. If you look right here, my field goal against a defense is 47% compared to 41% made, and their giving up 38% success rate on the arc as opposed to making 33. So he's exactly right, and obviously you are as well. That's great intel by you.
Yeah, 13th among A-10 teams so far. We're not in conference play yet, obviously, but just by a comp as to what other teams in the conference are doing. And they've been good there. They've been good with off-the-ball defense. It's on-the-ball defense that's been more of an issue. Good way to get back, though, by Rotroff to contest the shot at the rim.
For sure. I told you he was moving well.
Bikel's just staying in with Johnson in the backcourt, so he'll get a little time on the bench for Spears, but as soon as I say that, he makes his way back over to the scorer's table. New Hampshire also trying to buy some time for Guadarrama on the bench. He'll be checking in at the next dead ball, too. O'Connor thought about giving it to Rotroff, decides to take himself, lost it, and it's taken away by the Wildcats.
I think he lost himself right there.
And Rotroff challenges again. More good defense in transition, getting back by Rotroff.
Yeah, indeed. He's making it more and more difficult. Like I said, he looks more active, more mobile, but the Wildcats are missing some peeps here that they may regret.
And we'll see three guys come in for Duquesne, three guys come in for the Wildcats. There's the intercepted pass by O'Connor, but he gets it ripped right back again.
Right. But then again, you get the challenge defensively by Rotroff. So,
not sure if Hopkins knew that Rotroff had gotten all the way back in time, but good ovation for Rotroff and Bikelja as they go to the bench.
Yeah.
Let's see if the Dukes can use their primary scoring lineup here for the last 6 minutes of the first half.
Rotroff with 9 minutes already.
They usually only like to play him about 8 a game.
That's right.
Spears uses the head fake, pulls up at the free throw line. Shot no good. Rebounded by Chiquenu. From Montreal. Ooh, uses the arm to get free from Johnson. No call there. Kept the pivot foot down, and the left hand turns into 2 points. Saw the reaction, or heard the reaction, at least we could. Some people, I'm sure, saw it from the bench from Duquesne. They thought there was an offensive foul.
Right. He wasn't chewing out Johnson there.
Interesting to watch how these three guards do together when they're on the floor at the same time. Spears the up fake on the three. Now gives it back to Ayers. He'll attempt one. Too strong. Tipped around. We got a rebounding foul underneath on Easley. Got to watch his foul issues.
Yeah,
That'll be his second. Saw Keith Dambrot put him on the bench after the first one. With all the minutes he logs, and like we talked about, the importance that they rely on scoring-wise for him. Have to track that as we get into the second half.
Well, it's a time for a run here by New Hampshire. Duquesne hasn't scored for nearly 3 minutes, and I believe 0 for 5 in the last 5 attempts from the field.
Good on-ball defense there from Ayers, but it ends up going back into the waiting hands of Guadarrama, who hits a three-pointer.
My coach talked about how skilled he is and what a great passer. Like you said that earlier, don't forget the shooting. I mean, he's an all-conference player.
Spears surveys, decides to give it back to Ayers, uses the left hand, goes through some traffic. Layup no good, a rebound Mattos for the Wildcats, and UNH looking to take the lead.
Yeah, the Dukes have gone cold, and this is what happened last time we saw them here late against Bowling Green, and they were cold basically the entire second half in their last game against DePaul.
Blocked shot from Trey Williams.
Well done.
Triggers a break for Spears, gives it back to Easley, decides to go for a dribble, and Easley back in the scoring column for the Dukes.
Basically a sideways floater, and immediately Keith Dambrot tells Easley to get back down there on defense.
Trey Williams on the season now. That's his 27th block. Way short from Chiquenu. Oh, Jackie Johnson smelled the steal, but it went off the top of his fingertips and out of bounds. We'll get our final timeout of the first half. These two teams continue to punch and counterpunch, feeling each other out a little bit here as we come to the end of the first half. 3.5 more minutes to go before halftime here on ESPN+. For Duquesne basketball at the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse, coming out to cheer on the Dukes. For more information or assistance, contact the Dean Honda ticket office at ticket services at duq.edu or call 412-232-3853.
Good idea. Real good idea.
Conference schedule coming up for the Dukes. It starts off Thursday the 30th after Christmas at Davidson. then home games against George Mason and George Washington on January 2nd and the 5th. One more home non-conference game, that's against Wofford, in between UC Irvine in Akron. Guadarrama falls away off the front rim, rebounded by Acuff. Lots of use of bench minutes today for Keith Dambrot, a recurring theme.
Yeah. Also, of course, with the Wildcats.
Ayers off on that three. Williams goes down to the deck again, trying to get away from Guadarrama. Guadarrama will take Williams out away from the basket.
Nice.
Another reason why it's been important to have Rotroff out there.
Sorry. That was a beautiful pass. Again, I want to see if they could shoot the ball better from the field, not layups. I want to see if they can shoot the ball better when they flip sides at half.
Spears tries another three, tipped around for a while. Gets into the hands of Hopkins.
UNH, I mean, they have everybody on the roster except one guy plays at least 10 minutes. And I was surprised they got so many in so early. But this has become an older team, like Coach Arian told you, after being so young for so long. I thought it was a great point.
Yeah, this team relies on its upperclassmen as Duqesne.
Nice.
It's a follow tip from Mattos.
You just
That's
hope
his first basket of the game.
Yeah, you just try to control him. I mean, you contain him. I mean, 5.8 a game. But I tell you what, he moves well also.
Williams wanted the lob from Spears, didn't see it. It was a real short window anyway. Maybe a good idea by Spears to hold back on that one. Almost turns into two for Ayers, but that comes out.
Mattos with that rebound.
Ayers 0 of 5 from the field so far for Duquesne.
7 rebounds for Mattos.
They'll give it to him. A nice feed underneath to Guadarrama, but ripped away by Spears. They'll control the dribble as we approach 90 seconds in the first half. Acuff, who's been steady all year for the Dukes, uses the bank this time. Tyson Acuff, averaging 5.5 per game for Duquesne. And for Acuff today, that's his second field goal. Had a 3 earlier, and a timeout called for by New Hampshire.
Size, whether it's fatigue for reasons we've talked about many times on these broadcasts, and that coming from not having the depth that Keith Dambrot would love to have. Those all come into play. By the way, Tim, I should point out that Quan Murphy, who we know is not here due to the flu, I hope Quan is doing well, particularly because I'm pained that he's not here. You do know where he attended school in Charlotte, North Carolina, correct?
Inform me.
That would be the Cannon School. He's one of my favorite alums, okay? We loved him when he came through Cannon.
I know he had a school named after you. That's impressive.
Sure, yeah.
You and LeBron both, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Outside shot from Guadarrama rattles off every part of the rim. Rebound comes to Hopkins, floats it up short. Rotroff getting the board.
Got to go strong there, young man. He threw it up like he was hoping it would go in.
Crossover from Acuff.
Nice.
Slings it out in the corner. Okani to Spears, wide open. Gets the screen now. Rolling down is Williams. Uses the glass. Follow slam by Rotroff, his second one this afternoon.
Well, you talk about the big guys showing out. This is pretty fun.
Slight differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Guadarrama wants it back from Duqesne. They'll run the clock just about down to 0 here, it looks like. Guadarrama getting some coaching from the bench.
Yes, he is.
Now we'll start the offense. Decides to go to the right. Bodies off of Williams. Good matchup here. Guadarrama up, under, no good. Tipped around, rebound, Rotroff, and that'll do it. So the Dukes end on a positive note, and they will go into the locker room up.
By his head coach, but they really haven't been productive at all. They've combined for 4 points. They have 0 assists between them, and they have 3 turnovers. So that's something we'll be looking at to see if there'll be improvement in the second half for New Hampshire.
Bill Harrion, the head coach in his 17th season at New Hampshire. His brother Tom was former assistant at Pitt.
You liked him?
At Marshall, yeah. I enjoyed covering him and talking to him when he was on the staff over there. Congratulations to Bill's son, who's also on the staff. Ryan recently had a child, 10-month-old, named Riley. And his wife Jade, UNH, former volleyball player, who's on Tom's staff at Marshall. Was a walk-on UNH as well. Boy, that hit every part of the rim for Primo Spears. We're underway here in the second half.
Basically, you got to dribble the ball off a bouncing rim.
Nice for Phil Herring, though, to have his son as a player and then on his staff as well.
Yeah, that's a blessing. Just got his 200th win, Herring did, up at the school in his 17th season. He's been around a long time beyond that. He's got a lot of wins.
Good job by Williams to stay down low with Mattos. That shot no good. Dukes get an offensive touch for Primo Spears again. Johnson thought about it from way outside. Now starts the move. Oh, he got tripped up. Oh, and they kicked in the head on the way by. That was accidental. He was taken out hard and went down on the run by. I think Hopkins clipped him. Let's take another look right there. Oh, there you see it.
Yeah. He got beat up right there, folks. I mean, that was one of those thuds that you hear, and forgive me, but you get a sound effect from your color analyst on, and then when I saw the head get hit slightly, not good.
Johnson was trying to say he was on the way up to referee Amy Bonner. Spin move Williams, left it a little short. Mattos lost the rebound for a second, but gets it back now for the Wildcats. Now, one thing about Martinez, he's not forcing it, Ellis, even though it hasn't been there offensively. It's not like he's forced a lot of bad shots. Mattos tried to get it to him there. Corner three attempt. It's good. Josh Hopkins. Now it's down to a 2-point game.
Came in only connecting on 6 of 19 at 32%, but he was able to drill that one.
Spears with the right hand. Awkward angle. Uses the window and good. Primo Spears put the Dukes back up by 4.
Bill Herring frustrated there. That's one of the big keys he talked about, allowing Primo and the other guys to go downhill on their drive into the paint.
Yeah, that was a real problem against Bryant. Something that they're usually better at, he says. And
right.
That and the rebounding sort of left them in that game against the Bulldogs.
Oh, he told you they were exposed, and that's pretty big. What a
nice
shot.
Hopkins, another step back, 2 in a row.
That shot was beautiful the moment it left his hands. I just love the fact that he had great rotation on and created the space, as you point out.
Spears loops a pass in on the bounce. Williams, jump stop, goes to the right, fights through the contact, will go to the free throw line.
You know, I think that Trey Williams created that as much as Mattos committed it. You know, he just was herky-jerky, stopped at one point, and I just think he forced that foul and put, ultimately, Mattos in a bad position.
Williams looking for his first point, 0 of 4 from the floor. Gets a free throw to go, though. And he doesn't have any errors, doesn't have any yet?
No, it's crazy. Williams really played well against DePaul. Very well. 17 and 10.
Lots of rotation with the second free throw, no good. O'Connor keeps it alive and tried to bounce it off a UNH player. Instead turns into an extra possession for Duquesne, and they're going to get Williams for going over the back. He doesn't like the call, but it'll be a foul against Williams.
That's interesting. He's saying that they came into me. Let's see. No. Well, I'll tell you one thing. That was a good hustle effort there by Duquesne's unit.
3-point lead for the Dukes. It's Hopkins who's been hot for the Wildcats. Now to Mattos, and it's O'Connor with it for Duquesne. The deliberate nature of this basketball game continues. Williams, the high screen. Crossover from Spears. Stops again, uses the window. Maybe he's finding the groove now.
Herring just turned around, totally lets his shoulders go limp, and he's yelling at one of his assistants and saying, "What?" That's exactly what he doesn't want to see happen. He knows he's vulnerable there.
Oh, almost intercepted by Spears. Duquesne, though, keeps the dribble alive. Has a mismatch on the perimeter with Williams. Tries to use it. Mattos tips it back to Guadarrama. Keeps it just inside the court of play. Almost stepped on the sideline there. But UNH will extend the possession down to 10 on the shot clock. Spin move, Duqesne. A little bit out of control. Throws into the corner. Martinez. Now he's on the board from outside. Martinez just his second field goal of the afternoon.
All right. I'll tell you one thing, Tim. I hope the viewers are able to see at the top of the screen. Watching these two head coaches coach is part of the show for me today.
Spears thought about it, thinks about it again. Not much rotation. Ball bounces down to Martinez, and now the Wildcats look to tie or take the lead.
UNH will give that shot till you force them.
3 subs looking to come in right now for Duquesne. Duqesne in the paint. Oh, off the back rim. And we'll step aside as Duqesne will come back with free throws, a chance to tie it for the Wildcats when we return. You see the contact from Spears. Almost got the 2-and-1, but we'll see what he can do when we return here from the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse.
Your fire fuels their flight. Go beyond your limits and enter the NC.
Couple 3-pointers chipped in by Josh Hopkins.
Yeah, he did, and both of them were quick and clean, and, he had the matchup he wanted and wasted no time, very efficient. And right now, as you take a look at it, the 3 ball's working for UNH. Want to say their percentage is at 37.5, which is actually a little less than what it was, a little bit higher than it was by about 7 or 8% at halftime.
Hopkins, a season high of 11 against Quinnipiac earlier in the season. Had 10 against St. Joseph's of Maine to start the year. And he's got 10 points right now on 4 of 8 shooting and 2 of 4 from the outside.
He came in averaging less than 6, so he's had a day already.
Duqesne at the line after the foul from Spears before our break. Hits the first free throw. That's his 3rd point of the day. Rochoff come back in? Yes, he did. Acuff's in 2 for the Dukes. Ayers and Easley. Easley was leaning in a little bit. Almost got a lane violation. Tip back, and UNH will extend the possession. See if that last jump shot gets Martinez going. And a good example of that right there. Martinez, another 3. They're in front, 38-36.
They may be deliberate, but they're playing a style I like, and that is they're finding the open guy. Great ball movement, good heady play. Guadarrama with that tip back out to get another possession, and then set up Martinez, who's now starting to wake up. Very good.
Acuff runs the curl, uses the left, uses the window, and it's tied again.
At this point, I'm not so sure that UNH has an answer for that. I mean, they made it a point, but I'm not so sure, based on what we've seen in the second half, that we're going to see a way to stop that.
Duquesne led the whole game prior to that. Basket from Martinez for New Hampshire. Good feed to Mattos. He goes up hard and slams it down over Austin Rochoff.
Well, that was with some force.
Duquesne, a nice feed on that, too.
Mm-hmm. And you'd expect that. I mean, he's number 1 in the conference with assists at 4.3 a game. That backcourt waking up.
Behind the pick from Rochoff. Acuff's 3 doesn't go. Mattos goes in, back out, and in again. And Duquesne didn't like that. They thought that should have been a turnover. Now Spears trying to stay with Duquesne, and it's going to be another foul on Spears. Duquesne now, the last 2 or 3 trips down, has gotten a couple on Primo.
Yeah, and if you watch this, I mean, he gets pretty rough down here, and that is a foul. But watch Spears if it rolls on. You could see the initiation there. He was talking, not to the official, was talking to his teammates.
Trey Williams about to come in. Jackie Johnson about to come in, too. Yeah, and Primo Spears is going to go to the bench. For Spears, that's his 3rd personal foul. Going to take Easley out, too. And I guess Keith Dambrot was prophetic when it came to defense in the second half, Ellis. It's been quickly more of an issue than it was in the first, especially on the perimeter against the 3.
That's exactly right. That was the very first thing. He had multiple reasons for it. He talked about size, he talked about depth, he talked about fatigue, but he started with perimeter defense.
Duquesne, just a 68% free throw shooter, got those to go, and it's a 4-point advantage for the Wildcats now. Acuff gives it back to Johnson. Stays with the left hand. Rebound by Williams. And he goes up. Oh, I think Guadarrama got a piece of it on the way. I think Williams thought he was fouled too, but no call.
Guadarrama liked that too. He's a heady player.
Ayers watching Martinez. Puts a hand in his face.
I'd kick it like he did and start it again.
Duqesne has definitely impacted the second half more than he did before halftime. Guadarrama, three-pointer. Rebound by Rotroff. Dukes need an answer. Scoreless in the last 145. One of their last 5 from the floor. Rotroff will try to do something about that. He does. Excellent pass from Jackie Johnson on the penetration, and Rotroff pays it off.
Well, he did after getting his 7th rebound on one end and his 8th point on the other. Great point there, Tim. He's up to 15 minutes. That's double what we understood he'd be able to play.
Stolen by Acuff. In transition, gets the foul. He'll go to the free throw line as Hopkins picks up the foul. Now, I wonder if a little bit of the thinking for Keith Dambrot as it applies to Austin Rotroff is you got 8 days between games here. They've been playing 2-3 games per week ever since they started out, including the tournament that they had over the holiday. And then UC Irvine in Akron, that's 8 days away, so maybe they can get more mileage out of Rotroff off the bench here and give him longer time to recover.
Well, Doctor, I'll go along with that as long as he doesn't create a setback in doing it.
First free throw no good. By the way, that look ahead to the game in Akron is your Road Ahead report brought to you by Dean Honda. Visit Dean Honda on Route 51 today or at DeanHonda.com and ask for the Duquesne discount. UC Irvine Sunday the 19th at 1 p.m. That's at LeBron James Arena at St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Akron. Second free throw from Acuff is good. The Dukes back within 1. UNH has hit 3 of its last 4 from outside. Duqesne gets a pick from Martinez, runs out of real estate. Bounce pass comes into Mattos, working on Rotroff, puts it over him. Rotroff, had it in the left hand, it's going to stay with Duquesne. I thought it might have gone on the extra tip over to UNH and kept it in the front court offensively, but the Dukes get it back.
Thought the same exact thing. Jim, I don't remember having a big man game with you for a long time.
Yeah, well, maybe early Trey Williams once early in the season.
Yeah, but I mean like 6.
Oh, this big. This big, yeah. It's interesting to hear Keith Dambrot talk about sort of the misperception as Williams goes to work, spins right hand, followed by Rotroff. He'll go down as an assist in the books.
That will be.
I don't think that's what he was going for, but Rotroff, 5 of 5 from the floor now.
Actually, the right elbow, Trey Williams, is going to get credit for that assist. He drove it into the defender.
But to finish the thought, when he was talking about over the recent years with Hughes and Weathers up front, there was sort of a misperception. He thought that it was all about Hughes beating up the opposing team's 5. It was really, size-wise, more about what Weathers would do to the other team's 4.
Right.
And, maybe they can do some of the same thing now with Williams, although he'll try it from outside here. That's short, almost into the corner between the rim and the backboard.
No, that's a great point, Tim. That's something they would love to be able to do because he's killing himself in the second half. That's a coach saying it, not me, and he's dying on the vine because he's, in a fist fight in the paint all the time. You get him a little bit out on the edge, it may help him out.
Foul on the perimeter. It'll go against Marco Foster. Good effort again on defense previously by Austin Rotroff. Martinez wanted that pass sooner. He saw it. He wanted the pass sooner. It gave Rotroff. Austin Rotroff impacting this game.
Yeah, it's his world. We're just trying to live it. I mean, he backs the guy down. What a left pass right there. And off the miss by Williams. Got to love that. Once again, you've got Johnson going to the hoop. Nice look underneath Rotroff, who's 5 for 5 from the field. And Spears goes in, misses, bang. Once again, we're looking at something great for Rotroff. 10 points, 9 rebounds. Tim, this is the second career double-digit scoring game for the Ohio product. That man right there, his very first one was his very first college game that we called, and that was against William and Mary. So kudos to him for coming back and doing this today. 17 points in that game on November the 10th, 2018. Had 8 rebounds against Maryland Eastern Shore in 2018. So the 9 today is a career high
for Austin Rochoff. Drive from Johnson,
Oh.
contact, and one. Jackie Johnson will go to the line to try to make it a three-point play.
Well, I tell you what, Tim, if they're going to trade up for just some instant offense and a guy willing to take the price and do that, I mean, again, all he's got to do is be neutral. Neutral would be okay in terms of turnovers and defense if you're going to be able to score like that.
Nick Johnson getting the foul. Jackie Johnson the free throw, and Duquesne in front by 4.
Johnson now with 11, 4 of 11. They'll let him shoot all day long. And I got him with no turnovers, Tim.
That's a big thing when it comes to him.
Yep.
He can stay away from the mistakes and give the ball back to the other team. Efficiency can match production and talent. Boy, look out. Guadarrama will go to work on Rochoff. Pretty look underneath. Rattles around and in. Boy, eyes in the back of his head from Guadarrama as he found Johnson.
I tell you what, Tim. This guy's one of the smarter players I've seen in a while. I mean, I now I see why. Literally, Coach Dambrot said if he's not playing, it's a problem for UNH. If he does play, it's going to be a toss-up.
Long three-pointer, no good for Johnson. Duqesne trying to run the gauntlet around the Duquesne defense. Back to Martinez. And we thought that one was going in. You saw the bounce after the release. It looked good from here, too.
Perfect line.
Acuff behind the back to Rochoff. It's going to stay in the offensive end for Duquesne. I was waiting for the official call from Amy Bonner. And they're going to get Hopkins back in. Acuff a little too fancy there. Guadarrama read it, got the left-handed paw quickly in, and Dambrot taking the time to talk to Acuff as he has to inbound it right in front of the coach after that.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate timing.
Yeah, that's great. He's loving that. 31 rebounds for New Hampshire compared to 30 for the Dukes.
Easily, halfway down. Rolled around and came out.
Much improved after getting beaten in that department by 20, I believe, just the other night.
I like Primo Spears on defense, getting the concepts down, perhaps better than some of the other guards. I want to see the energy ratcheted up a little bit. And Acuff barely able to stay in. Primo was ready to go back and help out. Trey Williams ready to check back in for Duquesne, too. Outside, Okani will attempt a three. Way too strong. That got glass before the back rim, and Guadarrama with the board.
And yet, that was the shot in that set.
Duquesne 5 of 18 from three-point territory. Spears stays right with Duqesne. Well, that almost went out of bounds in front of the New Hampshire bench. And another foul on Primo Spears. That's going to be his 4th. And Duquesne's drawn 3 fouls against him in this half.
That's a great point, Tim. Obviously, the 4 speaks for itself, but he's getting them drawn on by, as you point out, the kid out of Montreal, Duquesne.
And I just saw the other coaches alert Dambrot to the fact that Primo's got 4, and he's going to stay with him at the 8:39 mark.
Yeah, the coach did say something to Dambrot, who just sort of angrily waved.
Jackie Johnson set to come in now, though. Acuff skies for the rebound.
Man, Acuff and Okani, they are so long, Tim.
36% shooting for the Dukes, 37 for New Hampshire. 3-point try from Spears. Back rims. And easily couldn't come up with it on the long rebound. Guadarrama gets it instead for New Hampshire. Ayers set to come in, too. And they're just trying to get to the under 8 here with Spears, potentially, Ellis, and then get him to the bench.
Right.
Pass goes over the outstretched hand of Okani on the far side. Diving for it is Easley, and then diving for it again the other way. On the far side is Nick Johnson. That will get us to the under 8. 3 new players coming in. We'll reset the lineups on the floor when we return. Duquesne up by a pair over New Hampshire, 46-44.
Saw one reason, though. The forced very good play defensively there by Duquesne. I can't remember if it was Acuff or Okani, but I was talking about how long they are. You would think that if nothing else, that would create a real problem defensively for a lot of teams. And I suspect as this season and their careers go along, you're going to see more and more impact of that.
Jackie Johnson back in, Bukelja 2, and Ayers, so they will get some time on the bench for Spears with the 4 fouls. Ayers at the elbow, pulls up, smooth-looking shot from Leon Ayers, and it's a 4-point lead for Duquesne.
He's really come on, obviously, in terms of his development this season, shooting the ball.
And Ayers finally in the scoring column. That's his first basket
Right.
of the day. Guadarrama, three-pointer. And it's going to count. Is there a foul away from the play on Williams? The basket counts as a 3 for Guadarrama, and they're going to get Williams away from the ball.
Fisher was very emphatic with that. Oh, he's right. He's absolutely right. Did you see the bodies flowing right to left on your radio dial?
And Harrian's talking to both officials now to see. They're looking to see if this is a potential flagrant. I'm guessing that's what they're doing if they're taking a look at it. Right now the score is 48-47. We can see Bill Harrian across the court talking to the official, Amy Bonner.
Here, watch this. Yeah, see that. That was what the Steelers needed the other night.
At least in the first half, anyway.
Yeah. According to Mike Tomlin, that right there was moving the pile the right direction. Here we go. Amy Bonner coming over with an explanation. Tim's interpreting. What do you
looking to see if the defensive foul occurred in the act of shooting? It doesn't have to be. So the three-pointer is good. We just got the indication it is going to count. So they were taking another look at it. Doesn't seem to be any debate really from Keith Dambrot on this one. Mattos coming back in right now for UNH. And it'll be inbounded, I believe, right in front of us. Want one more look here, Ellis?
Yeah, right there. I mean, Trey. I mean, I appreciate the kids staying in harm's way there, but Trey he went straight through him. I think it was a great call. I'll tell you the other thing, Tim. Duquesne's only got a 1-point lead. That might be something we circle, because you've already mentioned here in the last 2 minutes or so, teams going scoreless and droughts and all that, and that's exactly why these teams have lost this year on multiple occasions.
Duquesne spins around Bukelja, gets the paint, floats, and now New Hampshire goes back in front by 1.
Yeah.
He's been a matchup problem here in the second half for whoever's guarding him.
Yeah, as I said at half, he needed to get going. Johnson hasn't that much, but right now Blondo's got, wow.
Easily with the right hand around Guadarrama and almost was able to finger roll it in. It's just the second foul for Guadarrama. He's got 10, by the way. Joining Hopkins is the only other guy for New Hampshire in double digits.
Guadarrama looked as if he was telling his guys that was my mistake, and I don't know if it was a pickup, a switch, what have you. It looked like he believed it was his responsibility.
Beasley's been a pretty good free throw shooter so far this year, 77% coming in. Acuff in, Bukelja back out.
Beasley quiet, though, with, 6, 7, only 7, I think, in 21 minutes.
Tie basketball game at the 6:52 mark. Guadarrama will bring it up the floor. He gets in front of Easley, but then Easley caught up just enough. Duquesne rattles it in.
Yeah, he got a halftime speech. We weren't the only ones talking about it, Tim.
3-point lead for the Wildcats. Johnson gets it back from Easley. Much bigger defender on him is Hopkins. Ayers thought about a 3, trying to create some space. Goes to the baseline. Into the corner for Acuff. Attempts one.
Wow.
Tyson Acuff, a clutch 3 to answer right back.
Tim Bez, that's a great call. Great use of the word clutch.
Yeah, they're just going to inbound it underneath the Duquesne basket.
There's a lot of confusion right there, Tim.
Now it's going to be Acuff who's going to try Duquesne. First one, Ellis.
Nah, it's okay.
6 minutes left in the game.
Still dealing with Guadarrama. Unbelievable.
Going baseline up. Oh, and there's a foul. So Duqesne gets one on Acuff, too. I think they're trying to get a more size matchup in their favor as opposed to quickness, and it still didn't matter.
No, exactly.
Blondo with the up fake on the right hand.
He got hammered.
Yeah, Acuff came down hard on him.
Coach says he's very, very important. Third year in the program, had that freshman injury. Basically, he, meaning Bondro, the guy you're looking at right now, or Blondo, and also Nick Johnson, teammates. Coach says he's like a coach on the court and is the same guy every day. How many coaches tell us that is something that they value? They don't need the drama. They don't need the ups and downs. They really appreciate being the same person every day.
Suddenly, Duqesne is the leading scorer for UNH with 11.
Yeah, he's taken over.
4 assists, 3 rebounds as well.
3 of 5 from the 3. Like I said, his assist, how many assists did you say he has? He's got 4.
He's currently got 4 assists along with Guadarrama to
right. Well, he's
lead the team.
4.3 a game average, so he's right there, and that's tops in the America East Conference, that number.
Spears back in with the 4. Duqesne will watch him on defense. Ayers wanted it on the cut. Instead it goes to Easley. He'll try a 3. Easley with the basket. Same thing that happened down here the other way. Now Williams draws the foul after taking one in the other direction. Trey Williams at the free throw line after the exchange. We got the information during the timeout. They're in a 1-1 as opposed to what was the case for New Hampshire on the previous possession. Thus the differential as Williams misses the free throw. So Duquesne still in front by 1 point. And we don't see that very often, Ellis, where you've got a three-pointer hit by one person and then a foul on the continuing action underneath from 2 other people, but it happened practically on back-to-back possessions between Duquesne and New Hampshire.
And almost the exact spot of the court on both of them. Yeah.
Guadarrama goes with the left hand, and that comes up short,
right.
And Easley, after hitting the 3, comes back the other way for Duquesne.
That
coming up to the 5-minute mark.
That extended break, I think, iced Williams there on the free throw line. He was out there for a bit.
Spears runs the curl into the corner for Ayers. Off the back rim, good rebound by Williams. For Ayers today, he's tried 4 3-pointers, hasn't hit any. He'll go to the drive instead. Bounce pass underneath to Williams. Fouled on the way up. He'll go to the free throw line again. Mattos thought he got all ball, but realized he got some body underneath.
I thought that whistle was late.
I think Mattos felt the same way.
I know it was late.
I think it was with the left hand and the small of the back of Williams.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily questioning whether it was right, wrong, or whatever. It was not immediate, for what it's worth.
Boy, Williams now is 1 of 4 when it comes to free throw shooting.
Yeah, and he came in only at 59%, so those numbers are going south.
He misses that one, too. Empty possession for Duquesne.
Yeah. It looks like he's guessing right now as opposed to following a routine.
0 of 7 from the floor, too. Off day for Williams.
Well, he was a target because Harrion said that we're very concerned about him.
Be Easley. Watching Guadarrama. Bounce pass. Good block, though, from Williams to recover and get it on Mattos. Boy, that Guadarrama sure has a feel, doesn't he, as to where his players are?
He's just so smart. I told you during the break, I could watch this kid play basketball all day. I just love his headiness, his skills.
4 of 14 from the floor, but he's impacted the game in other ways. Another nice bounce pass and another late whistle, this time on Williams against Mattos as opposed to what we had the other way around.
Do me a favor, Tim, because I was watching Guatemala. Who had the block for Duquesne in the previous one?
There's Williams.
Okay.
Actually, they're going to give Kevin Easley the foul here.
Right. Because it was very good play by Guatemala, but it was an excellent play by Williams as well.
Mattos at the line. He's good for 15 rebounds today. Afternoon, 15 on the day for him so far. Guadarrama's out there with Martinez, too. And it looks like they'll stick with Hopkins for the time being. And Young is going to be out there too for UNH. Retract that, that's Duqesne. Spears, Williams, Ayers, Acuff. On the far side, it's Easley, who has 12 points for Duquesne, the leading scorer so far. And there's Ayers. Good play coming out of the timeout as Ayers gets the layup.
Yeah, it's worth the timeout.
Now making the most of it, and who knows what that possession would have been, but now you know it's a fortunate break, actually, that Easley's shoe came off.
Right.
Ooh, they wanted to foul on Mattos for getting in the way of Primo Spears, and there's a travel instead. Well, if they missed the moving screen, they got the travel, and the ball goes back over to the Dukes. That's a key possession lost for New Hampshire.
Right. Oh, he's saying he moved the foot.
Guadarrama disagreeing with the call. I think Mattos knows he might have gotten away with one. He saw the hands go up like, I didn't do it. It usually means he did it. Ayers gets some space. Three-point shot, front rim, no good. And hurrying to save it is Easley. Touched on the out-of-bounds line. Martinez caught it anyway, so it's going to go over to New Hampshire.
Did you see Guadarrama basically put his arm out just ever so slightly to maybe slow down Easley? Just a little bit.
A little bit of a touch.
Yep.
A little bit of a hook.
I'm not even sure he really...
Two in the box if it's hockey?
Yeah, it was just a little bit of... You don't need to be over here.
Coming down to the 2-minute mark. Guadarrama was still talking to the official during the exchange of the ball and play. And some of the crowd behind us was giving it to Guadarrama. Timeout called for by New Hampshire. The Dukes have 2 timeouts left, and now so do the Wildcats. So I think we can be. Those are games we have to win before we, get to the meat of the schedule.
That's
to get
exactly
into the new
right.
year.
Yeah.
So they got those 3 wins. Then the Bryant game, you lose Guadarrama. We've seen it. Everything we heard about how the offense goes through them.
Yeah.
It's like losing a point guard, basically. Running your offense just does it from a different spot on the floor. Down to 10 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. Hopkins trying to find his flow again. And does!
Wow, with a hand in his face.
Key shot for the Wildcats.
Acuff couldn't do anything more. What a great shot.
Ambrose said he didn't mind playing some games in the 60s. We're barely there now. Spears, tough angle shot off the side of the backboard, gets it right back again. He tries to make a move on Duqesne. They're going to call a block on Duqesne. And Harry can't believe it. You saw the arm come out from Spears.
Yeah, I mean, they'll allow it down there, but I don't know. That was, what do you think? I mean, he had the arm out, but they're going to let the arm down there, happen there, right?
I mean, I thought Spears initiated the contact.
Yeah.
Well, I guess 90 seconds left to go. You give the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player there. And boy, Herring is really giving it to the official on the far sideline, Amy Bonner. And now they're trying to figure out if it's on the floor or if it was in the act of shooting. All 3 officials now are going to talk about it. Spears is insisting that it should be.
Now we're looking at Bill Marion right now. These 2 coaches coach every game, every play, every game.
Yeah, the officials are having a hard time.
Right.
Let's take another look.
Here's the play. Oh, he's out of his mind.
Wow.
Harry, his head's going to explode.
I thought they were calling it. I see what they were doing. I was completely fooled. I thought, like Harry, and they were arguing about something completely different. It's an and 1, so that makes it a 2-point lead for Duquesne. Well, Harrion is apoplectic on the sideline. Now Duqesne gives it back to Mattos. And he's blocked by Williams. They're going to call Williams for the foul. Well, there's no way that Duquesne was. There's no way that UNH wasn't getting that call after the sequence down here.
Right. Yeah. Look, Dambrot may know that. Although, I mean, it looked like he got a lot of ball. He's still talking to the official. But yeah, basically they went NBA rules and they did continuation.
Yeah, because we got the late indication that it was an and 1. The whole crowd was waiting for it. Then it finally came in, and I don't think that Harry could believe what was being discussed. Now we'll take a look at Mattos underneath and see what Williams got. Oh, he got all ball up top. That was clean. That was clean.
Unless he says he's got his body on him, but boy, at this point.
The second free throw is good, so we're tied at 62. Now Ayers into the front court. Watched by Martinez. Under a minute left to go. Ayers behind the arc. Goes in front of the A-10 logo. Drives. Oh, no good. That was a good drive by Ayers, but it came off too hot off the backboard.
Right, he had everything he wanted. Did everything but finish.
Guadarrama's going to call timeout. 42 seconds left. We'll keep it right here. And Harry is still talking to the official in front of us, Tommy Morrissey.
Yeah,
I guess
I
actually
watched.
The contact down below was minimal.
I watched the torso.
I think Primo kind of talked himself into going and lobbying for that call, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The one at the far side.
You would think Martinez would be a guy, but I tell you what, the guy who's been hot for them throughout the game is Josh Hopkins. We'll see. And, of course, you got this guy.
Guadarrama trying to make the move on Easley. Mattos' shot fought for, tipped out, and now Spears has it with 25 seconds left. The shot clock is off.
God bless Mattos. That could not have been the shot they wanted.
Tie ball game with 15 seconds left. Spears will work the shot clock down. Duqesne on defense. Spears looking to take it himself. Pulls up, shoots, and nails it! Primo Spears puts the Duquesne Dukes in front by 2 with 3.5 seconds.
And that's 28-18 favoring the Dukes.
All right, running the floor right now is Hopkins. In the hands of Duqesne from half court. Heaves it up, and it falls short, and Duquesne wins 64-62. The half court.